Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this yin and yang nail set that I did on one of my best friends. She showed me an inspo pic and I decided to recreate it with my own twist. This is a really cool and easy design. I feel like anybody can do this. But yeah, I'm just going to guide you guys through it and explain everything that I did. So right now I'm starting with prep, and that is probably one of the most important things that you should do. I'm just gently pushing back the cuticles with my cuticle pusher, and then I went in with the fine sanding band and just getting into the cuticles, pushing them back a little bit more and lightly buffing the surface. I'm not going in with a heavy hand at all. I'm just making sure that it is etched a little bit. And then I go ahead and clean up the cuticles even more with some drill bits. I usually use round ball bits just to get in there. I feel like they really clean up the cuticles nice and well. And then anything that I didn't get, I just go in with the cuticle nippers. I'm now going to start applying the tips to her nail beds. I'm cutting the sides easily right there just so the tip fits from sidewall to sidewall. You really want to make sure that you're securing your tips on and you're not overlapping them onto the skin, because if they get on the skin, it becomes a problem with lifting and also filing. You have such an easier time cutting a client. You really don't want to get into that mess. So cutting them works for me and make sure that, they're really on there and they're not overlapping. And it's also easier for when I cut the sides, which you'll see later on. It makes it a lot easier when I go and file because I'm not gonna touch any skin. Now I'm going in and cutting the length that she wants. I first cut one finger and then I ask her if that's the length that she wants, as you can see in the video. You always want to make sure that your clients are comfortable with their length, and if they're not, make sure you either cut it, or if you have to make them longer, do what you gotta do. I definitely make sure with my clients that they're comfortable with the length, just because it saves me time later and I don't have to shave anything down or add any length, because then it becomes a mess. But after that, I go ahead and cut the sides right before the sidewall begins. I don't want to do it right where the sidewall is at, because then once I file, I can file into the actual nail, and we don't want to cause any, sensitivity pain to our client. And doing this saves a lot of time with filing. Like, this is a trick that I feel like everyone should do. It just saves you so much time. And then I went ahead and seasoned my file, and now I'm just filing the tip to my desired shape. Now I'm taking my fine sanding band again, and I'm just blending in the nail tip and then just making sure that it's all roughed up so the acrylic adheres nicely to it. I don't do too much blending. I just do enough that the acrylic is smooth, and then you can see the difference between the tips before and after they're shaped. It makes a world of a difference. Now I'm priming her nail beds so that we can go ahead and apply this beautiful nude acrylic, and I double prime with my client. So I prime all 5, and then right before I go in with the acrylic, I prime again. I just feel like the retention is so much better when I do this, and I never have a problem with lifting when I do this. So definitely recommend this if you do have a problem with lifting, or if your clients have really oily nail beds. This is the way to go. I'm using Soft Peach. I believe it's 141 by Not Polish. This is one of my favorite acrylic brands. I just love the consistency with all their colors. It doesn't matter what color I use. They're all super smooth and creamy, and they just blend like a dream. And fixing little gaps or dents that you might have is so much easier with these products. I seriously recommend it to anybody, especially if you're a beginner and just starting out with acrylic. This is like one of the brands to go to. When it comes to application, you really want to take your time in making sure that you're doing the cleanest job that you can. It just helps aid with filing, and it makes sure that you're not taking away too much time for your appointment. That's usually what happens when you do not the best application. You have to spend a lot of time filing the sides, and you could spend a lot more time on the design instead. But definitely do as many beads as you need to complete a nail. Don't feel like you have to like rush the application process. This is the part where you want to take the most time with. So just go at your own pace. Don't worry about it. You'll get through the appointment, and your nails will come out looking bomb. So this is what my application looks like, nice and clean. I don't have too much acrylic falling off to the side, so it's going to be an easy filing process. When I file, I kind of go at an angle. I'm not going super straight when I'm filing the sides. If I'm doing tapered, then I'll do like a V type of motion. I will file one side and then go to the other. But in this case, I'm just literally filing straight down. Still holding it at an angle though, that way I don't cut my client. I'm also pulling back their skin with my pointer finger, and then I'm just securing the finger with my thumb. You really want to make sure that you have control when you're filing, especially if you're a crazy filer. You don't want to accidentally nip one of your clients. I'm just showing you a better angle of me filing. I try to get the best angles when I'm recording, but it just doesn't work out when I'm in my zone. I definitely try to get better. But as you can see, the sides are right at the side walls. They're not on the skin, and they're not showing any nail bed at all. You really want to make sure when you're doing the application process that you are covering the entire nail bed. Still staying away from the skin. I know that sounds really complicated, but it's not. Once you build the nail, it's a lot easier than it seems. That way when you're filing, you don't have any mishaps. So this is what it looks like now that I shaped it the first time. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my rounded drill bit. This is a safety bit, so it has a little rounded top at it, so I don't cut my client. This is like perfect for getting right into the cuticle and really like sealing it in. This is what gives it that really clean look. I know it's really hard to see right here. I try to film a better angle. Again, I'm gonna be better at it in future videos, but basically what I'm doing is I start at the cuticle from the right side and I work my way to the left. And then once I get to the left side, I smooth down the side walls and I go over the middle, and then I smooth down the right side of the side walls. That just ensures that I'm getting a nice even curve all around my nail. I'm not having like, dips in my nail. I'm smoothing everything out, make sure everything's even, that I have a nice apex. I really don't do my nails with a really big apex, but I definitely have one in there. I just feel like a lot of clients don't like their nails super thick. I'm now going in with my final shaping. I do this just so I can have a really crisp and sharp shape. So I'm making sure that the sidewalls are really straight and that there's no overlapping onto the skin. And then I'm also straightening out the tip and making sure that is also very linear and not, looking slanted in any type of way. I'm now flipping her hand over and I am straightening out the tip of the nail or the free edge. I'm just really making sure that it is, again, nice and sharp. This part really helps with making your nails look super clean. You can also see the sidewalls and you can kind of fix them up like I do if you want them a little bit straighter. I always compare the nails side by side to make sure that they are even lengths, because I absolutely hate when one nail is longer than the other. So I just do that to make sure that they're all nice and even. I'm now going in with a buffing block, and I lightly buff. I don't go in too crazy just because I want a little bit of my nail to be roughed up so the gel can have something to adhere on, so I don't have any problems with bubbling or anything not curing properly. After I'm done shaping, we're jumping straight into the design. I already had her wash her hands and scrub them really well, make sure that all the acrylic and dust is off. We're doing French tips, so I'm starting off with a very sheer base. I'm using the white from Valentino, but I'm not going in with a lot of gel on the nail just because, again, I really don't need it to be super opaque. I'm kind of just building my guide, so when I go in with the second layer, it's easier for me to paint on the tip rather than guessing it. And I also, again, I'm really about symmetry, so I do lines and I do French tips, as you can see, so that's why I'm drawing like a V and then another V. You'll see it better on the following nails because it's kind of hard to explain, but you really want to make sure that you get your free edge. I used to struggle with that a lot at the beginning, where I didn't cap my free edge with the gel polish. It just looked absolutely insane, and you really want them to look nice and clean. With this nail, as you see the method that I use, I did the V and then I do another V in the middle of that V, and then I go ahead and fill it in. And this is how I get my French tips to look super symmetrical and clean. I never had an issue with this technique, and I feel like a lot of people don't use this technique. They just go ahead and draw the almond shape, but trust me, doing this technique will save you so much time and it will make your French tips look a lot cleaner. So I'm now going in with my second layer, and this is where I start to kind of build a design. I'm going in with the white again from Valentino, and I'm literally doing half of the nail. And that might not make sense now, and you probably can't see it super well because it's white, but I literally draw a line in the middle of the French, and then I fill the whole left side of it with white, just so I have a nice, super opaque and clean application. Again, you want to make sure that you are doing thin layers of gel. You don't want to do super thick layers. You kind of want it more on the sheer side. Most gel polishes require 2 layers anyway, so you don't want to build a really thick nail and then take away from that nice shape. As you can see with this nail, it did bubble up just a little bit, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't fix. I just made sure that this next layer that I put on was going to be nice and even. So after that, I cured them, and we're going to start with the black side now. And this is where you're going to build that yin and yang little swirl pattern. I don't know what specifically to call it. But you're going to start from the right side of the very top of the French, and then you're just going to swoop it all the way down to the right corner, if that makes sense. I first draw out the little swoop and then I fill it in. I feel like it's easier that way. I'm using a black gel paint pot from Young Nails. Their gel paint pots are really good and super opaque. I ran out of most of my colors, so I'm due for another order, but if you do a lot of painting, those paints will literally save you so much time because they're so pigmented. You don't really need a second layer like most gel polishes do, and they cure really quick. I cured this nail in 15 seconds and it wasn't bubbling, it wasn't uneven. I think it was actually pretty perfect. after I'm done with the black swirls, I go in with the dots inside of the yin and yang. I start off with the black one and then I'll go in with the white one. I'm not putting the black one on every single finger because I'm going to be accenting the two fingers. I'm going to be doing the ring finger and then the pointing finger as an accent. I'm just using the dotting tool when I'm using the black and white with the dots inside of it. Super easy, and it makes sure that the shape is round and it doesn't look oval in any way. I'm now going in with some rhinestone glue. I use the diamond gel from Valentino. It has really good retention. I used a few different gels. It just depends on what type of crystal design I'm doing. But I just added some crystals, as you can see. Super pretty. It made the set look a lot more unique. And then I'm just gonna go in with top coat. I'm using the not polished gloss it top coat. It's one of my favorites. I feel like it makes my designs last and it doesn't have any chipping. I've never had an issue with this at all. And it's super clear. It just makes the nail look a lot smoother and just shines like crazy. And this is the final design. Absolutely in love with this set. I think it's super unique and it came out so nice. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys give it a like, comment down any other designs you guys want me to record, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.